Hello, dear listener. If you have stumbled across this willingly, unwillingly, with plans of great enlightenment, or with no expectations at all, thanks for downloading, clicking, coming on board with the first of a number of chats, interviews, discussions that we're having at Holidaymaker with a number of our partners and clients and people in our wider network. So the first one is with myself, Dave McRobbie, and Jason McCowan from Zonal. We had this at the HARPA Conference in late January, where we just chatted all things AI and tech, really, and that'll be the kind of premise of a lot of the discussions we have with our partners and everyone. It'll be a slight ramble across technology, marketing, hospitality and park industry. So we hope you enjoy. We hope you get engaged with it. You can listen to it on 1.5 or 2 times speed. I'd recommend that. Certainly with my bits, and I will kind of come back at the end, because like all our interviews, everything stops quite abruptly because we are just chatting, really. So I'll come back with a little bit at the end just to kind of top and tail the whole episode. Hope you enjoy it. Hey, so this is one of the first little podcasts that we're doing as Holidaymaker with our wonderful range of partners and friends. And the first off the cab rank, in the nicest possible way, is Jason McCowan from Zonal. Zonal have been our partner at Holidaymaker for a couple of years now. They were the first ones to come on board and get involved with XP and working with us as a platform provider. So really thankful for them. Jason is fundamentally in charge of the parks sector for Zonal. I'll let Jason say a little bit about who Zonal are and what they do in a second. But we work with them primarily on integration for the food and beverage and the EPOS work that Zonal do. And we have a number of shared clients, and I think we work very well together.
Indeed we do. We do.
So, a little bit. Do you want to say a little bit about Zonal and what you do? And
yeah, sure.
Your
Thanks.
Exposure in the park sector would be great.
Yeah, perfect. So Zonal's a hospitality specialist company. We provide the hospitality tech solutions for all of the sort of bars, restaurants, your holiday parks, etc. We work with quite a number of different holiday parks now, ranging from some of your larger sort of your park deans, etc., down to your smaller independent, all family-run holiday parks. Yeah. That's ultimately what we're about.
How professional was that?
Very good, eh?
Very good. You've done this before.
Off the cuff.
Yeah, off the cuff. Oh, completely, yeah. So the idea of these kind of chats, and we're going to have a few of them, is kind of like, a bit like XP, is kind of looking at a wider perspective of tech, marketing, opportunities for growth, not just within the park sector but across hospitality as a whole, which is why it's great to be able to talk to you. So kind of, I know you guys do a lot of research across the whole sector, the whole hospitality sector, and you do commission a lot of reports. So what's the type of kind of research that you do, and how can parks kind of benefit from that wider?
Yeah, so we sort of work with an independent agency called CGA, and then we sort of survey, then send out 4 surveys a year to about 5,000 people, just to understand what's happening in the industry, what are the trends, how things changing, and how can tech then support those changes and enable sort of the venues to deliver what it is their guests are looking for, and sort of carry on making them busy.
Nice. So I know you do a lot of these reports here, and actually I download nearly all of them actually. Still new ideas, and then call them my own. So what's the last one? What's the last one that you guys did?
See, one of the last ones we've done was it was about consumers' sort of dining out habits.
Yeah.
And one of the things we noticed, there's been a shift from people going out at 8 o'clock. Typically people would sort of finish work, travel home, etc., go out for something to eat around 7, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
since the pandemic, we've seen there's been quite a bit of a shift in that.
Yeah.
People are working from home more now, so therefore they're finishing work at 5:30, closing the lid on a laptop. They haven't got that commute, so therefore they're eating naturally now at an earlier time. So instead of being 7-8 o'clock, typically it's now sort of being around about 6 o'clock. So therefore, when they're going out for something to eat, we're seeing that shift now is also reflected in their normal behaviour side of things. So where they've sort of finished work, going out for something to eat, they're now going out around 6 o'clock. Okay. In fact, the research has sort of shown that the peak time people are actually dining out now has become 6:12. 6:12 has now become the new 8 o'clock.
And that is because, and that's been because of the pandemic, or people working from home.
It's been that sort of shift with the pandemic, sort of people having to work from home and things like that. It's just shifted people's behaviours. They've not finishing work at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, then having to commute for another hour and a half. Literally, it is lid on laptop down. They want to be able to walk away from the working world, and they'll come into their home life, their leisure, and everything else. So everything's just sort of shifted forward a bit.
Flexibility.
100%.
So we call it Dorset tea where I come from. So if you Dorset tea at 4 o'clock.
That sounds good.
But that kind of stuff is kind of like, actually, I can have it now.
Yeah, I don't need to sort of that. I haven't got that commute and everything else. So therefore, I can now come out, have something to eat, have something to drink, still be back home more at a reasonable time. Yeah. Get the rest and everything else ready to go again.
So my assumption is, right, that this would primarily affect restaurants and pubs, but you're hopefully going to tell me it's not just them. It could affect holiday parks. It can affect everyone.
100%.
How would that? What would the impact be on that?
I suppose from the holiday park side of things, if people are for 50 weeks of the year, that's how they're living. When they go on holiday, it's still going to be pretty much the same sort of behaviour. Yeah. So the parks need to make sure that they've got from the kitchen side of things, everything's prepped, ready to be able to accommodate that earlier start. Yeah. Have they got enough staff on earlier in the day?
Yeah, okay.
I suppose parks may be slightly different, the fact that they're going to have entertainment on site.
Yeah.
So therefore people will stay out.
Which might start, okay.
Yeah, it may sort of hold people out a bit later.
Sure.
But primarily we're seeing that the dining time for people eating now is that shift coming forward.
Just a little bit earlier. So I suppose in a way you could argue, even if a guest was eating in their lodge or their caravan or their holiday home earlier, there's a bit of flexibility that a park could do in terms of their entertainment or in terms of so it's
just understanding
recognising that
understanding about that behavioural piece that people are now looking to eat that bit earlier. Yeah. And then it's like, what can we be doing afterwards to helping sort of encourage and leverage the spend?
And do you think that's going to be the case for the next 12, 24 months, or is it going to change? Are people going to kind of retract back to the norm?
I think it's now become the new norm.
Okay.
I think it's there's sort of workplaces are now having to offer that flexibility. Mm-hmm. So it's now shifted and become that new norm piece. Yeah. I think sort of if you look at the younger generation now, whilst they've sort of still got some that are going out sort of later in the evening for the drinking, a lot more are wanting to sort of go out, have the time, make it a bit more of an occasion of things, and then sort of retrieve back home again.
Pre-drinks. There's definitely you're right.
There's certainly a noticeable shift in how people's behaviours are sort of going for it, sort of dining out and everything else.
Yeah, I suppose I think about my daughter, and you think she's at uni, and you think, well, when I was her age, I was out from 6 till midnight, or 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, but now she might do that occasionally, but it's much more right. I've eaten earlier, or I've had a drink earlier, and I'm going to go out, but
I'm not staying out all night.
I'm going to come back and maybe eat. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So with that in mind, kind of jumping around a little bit, but what other kind of let's call them guests, let's call them consumers, let's call them customers, whatever, because as you know, I'm big into my behavioural science aspects. So what behavioural trends or changes have you seen a zonal or across the piece in the last year, say the last year or so?
I guess one of the big sort of shifts we've noticed is that whilst people may not, and because partly as well because of the cost of living side of things, whilst people may not be going out quite as often, when they're going out, they're wanting wanting to make it more of an occasion, more of a special occasion.
Yeah.
So they're ultimately spending a little bit more.
Okay.
But they're also looking for something more than just that eating and drinking. They want a bit more of an experience about it. Preferably something that can be sort of shared across their social media platforms. They're wanting to make more of that occasion. You know, we're going out for a purpose, opposed to just we're going out for bite to eat and drink now.
So are they spending more then? So they're not necessarily spending more on the food or the drink. So they're not saying it's not 20. I'm buying a 25 quid bottle of wine rather than a 20. It's like I'm still buying a £20 bottle of wine, but I'm doing other stuff around them. Right, okay.
I'm making more of an occasion of the whole evening,
okay,
opposed to just as opposed to just sort of coming out and eating and drinking on a regular basis, which, I say, with the cost of living, may not be able to do that on a regular basis. So when I am going out, I want it to be a more memorable evening.
So it's kind of and parks can benefit from that by recognising that and wrapping more around the eating experience.
Exactly. Yeah. How can we be more engaging with the guests? So an example could be that are we doing a sort of a wine tasting evening or a wine pairing evening?
That's a good example. Yeah.
Something of that type, so I can bring guests out so they can sort of come out, still have something to eat and drink, but they've now getting an experience from that.
Yeah.
A cocktail masterclass, that type of thing.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Do you think that's been influenced by, you touched on social media?
Yes, yeah.
Right. And that is tech to an extent, right? But do you think, you talked about not as much money in people's pockets, he talks about social media, are there any other, in inverted commas, influences, and particularly digital influences on that kind of experiential thing, do you think? Or is it just purely people want to show off a little bit? I know. What do you think?
I might have to pause this now.
It's okay. We can come back to that.
I don't know, actually.
Yeah,
I generally don't, yeah.
Is it an aspect? Is it an aspect, right? Of
I think there might be sort of a split between two camps.
Okay.
You've got those that want to be able to put everything out on social media.
Yeah.
And I guess that's probably not so much, possibly even more sort of my sort of generation.
Yeah.
Whereas slightly younger generation.
Oh, very nice. Well said.
As yourself, Dave.
Oh God, I'm older than everyone. I'm older than everything.
But then you've got a certain generation that don't want to be on that tech.
Sure.
What I'm doing, I want to be in the moment. I want to be doing it. I want to be sharing it. But I don't want to be plastering it all over the social platforms.
I want to experience the experience rather than record it.
As opposed to look how great I am because I'm doing this and I'm taking a picture and everything else.
I think, speaking selfishly about Holidaymaker, and not just excuse me, not just the app channel, everything is that we can create or deliver or enhance in a contextual way when they're on the park, when they're in the restaurant, when they're thinking about the swimming pool, when they're in their unit, or before. It's getting the contextual aspect right. So I think from our perspective with tech, it is recognising and being respectful of, and we've got some stuff coming up with the platform over the next few months, but being respectful of what context people are at. So let's take an example, right? One example I'm really keen on us doing is if we can recognise someone has booked a restaurant meal with one other person, i.e. the table for two. Yeah. We really don't want to be pinging them stuff when they've booked their table, right? If they're there with a group of 5 or 6, then why shouldn't we send an offer going, oh, another round, 5% off, 10% off your other round? So it's the contextual. I think that's where tech can. Yeah,
definitely help sort of leverage that.
Yeah,
and also sort of maybe then sort of looking at where it can drive footfall.
Yeah, okay.
You know, on a park side of things, again with the weather influence and everything else. If you notice that a certain area is a bit quieter, similar to that, how can we use that to drive footfall to another area?
Very nice lead into our Internet of Things stuff, Jace. But I'm going to leave that because we're going to speak to Skentel about that, because we are doing some stuff around sensors around the park and footfall and helping people identify the shortest bar queues and that kind of stuff, which feeds into
what promotions you can offer them to. Yeah, definitely.
Do you think So let's get on to the AI question, right? Because if you're not talking about AI as a software vendor, you either do understand it, or you don't. So how do you see, and again, this is quite an open-ended question, so how do you see AI being used by guests? And how do you see that influencing their behaviour going forward? I mean, we look at the way, allegedly, although I'm not quite as convinced as other people are, we look at the way AI is being used by people to set itineraries for their holidays and find the best 3, 4, 5-star hotel in Paris. Right?
Map my journeys. And
How do you see it working with what you guys do, and what's your view on it?
So as you say, sort of a lot is being said around AI at the moment. Some people may see it daunting, but it doesn't have to be. There's some sort of practical, sort of simple practical applications and everything else in how AI can be used in hospitality. Some of the ways how we're sort of looking at using AI ourselves. You'd have to cut that part.
Oh well. I might leave it in.
That's the bloopers. So one way AI sort of can help operators in the future by sort of providing more accurate forecasting, and you can use that for like your booking side of things, your revenue, and everything else. Understanding what the weather's going to be doing, so therefore what kind of offers do we need to be promoting, what products should we be putting on for that as well. We know sort of summer comes along where everyone likes a bit more cider as opposed to being the winter time. So how can we use that for promoting different products and everything else? We've also used it then for analysing the data that you receive, certainly from the park side of things, gaining that booking data. I mentioned weather. How is the weather forecast going to sort of help predict the demand of what's going to be needed? Are there any sort of local events happening sort of around that could also be impacting or boosting sort of trade, etc. So AI's got a lot of potential use there that it can be used to help on the park side of things. I guess from us ultimately, hospitality is about people though. And it's about having the tools, the AI tools, your tech tools to support.
To enhance.
Exactly, to help your staff do what they do best, given the experience. That's why we go on holiday, to relax, unwind, have an experience and everything else and enjoy ourselves. So how can we enable the staff to deliver that better?
You guys are, I think you guys are ahead of the curve when it comes to AI in software in general, because I think... is it Johnny?
Johnny, our tech sales director.
He's excellent. He really has his finger on the pulse. He's really good, I think. So you touched on understanding behaviours and that kind of stuff. So what putting AI to one side or maybe including it, how can tech in general help parks or hospitality providers kind of accommodate the changes in guest behaviour, do you think? I guess it's just trying to sort of understand the guest behaviour. So not just whilst they're in venue, but also you say what are they doing outside of the park, outside of the venue. Knowing the individual person. What is it that's sort of driving them to come back to your business, your venue, etc. And just then being able to sort of record that data and personalise everything that you do to that individual. We hear a lot about different loyalty platforms. You've got loyalty schemes. If you're giving a discount on it, is it really loyalty? No.
So it's about understanding who that person is and how can I reward them that's going to be relevant for themselves. Again, I suppose back to that sort of personalised promotional side of things as well. We've got a hospitality CRM system called Airship, and that's then being used for actually tailoring and making it personalised. Outbound marketing activity as opposed to just shotgun, sending everyone the same information. Dave, I know you hey, like Dave. I know you like your steak and a wine. However, I'm going to run a promotion on those, so I don't want to be including Dave on that one
because he likes it anyway.
He does it already. But Jason, on the other hand, actually, let's target him because where he's not been in for a while, so this could be a great opportunity to entice him back in.
Getting back in. One thing I'm interested in, and we'll kind of just pull at this for a little bit, is put aside the kind of stack and the infrastructure stuff. How do you as Jason and you and the family use tech all the time at the moment? How do you think your behaviour, not as Jace working for Zonal, but Jace as the father of 2 kids and married and professional and all that career and that kind of stuff, how do you think you're going to start using, how have you started using AI, and how do you see your own use of AI developing over the next, I know it's a bit subjective because we don't know what's coming, but
it's quite funny actually you say it, because I've noticed over the last sort of few months now where Google would have been the default, going to get everything, what can I do on,
sure,
chuck it into ChatGPT.
really? Yeah.
And it's telling me, we sort of said about put it in, I want to plan a holiday.
Yeah.
What should I do? I want to visit a certain area. What's in that location? What should I be doing? What should I avoid? What's the best way to sort of travel, etc. So I'm sort of finding and using it more and more in that sort of sense myself. I guess then the sort of simplicity is being able to link that into, whilst I'm on there, can I now actually, I want to check out a new restaurant that's opened.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me just book my table from you.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was reading a post, I think it was, by, and forgive me, I can't remember his surname. It's Daniel something. It'll come back to me. He's the AI kind of director stroke lead for WPP, the big ad agency. And I haven't replied to it yet, but he put something across saying it's important that businesses create structured truth. So when AI comes to find them through a search, through a question, as you've put, the structured truth is available. And I thought, whose truth? Right? Because is it fact or is it truth? Because as we know, we were talking about Trump earlier, right? Truth is becoming subjective. Yeah. So do you, and just personal opinion, do you think what we're going to see, because there's definitely some murmurings, more than murmurings, do you think what we'll see is we'll basically see Google pay-per-click sponsored ads on search just being replaced by sponsored results on chat? Is that what you think?
I think so, yeah.
So it's still going to be the ones with the money and
you sort of see it coming through now, don't you? You put something into Google, AI answer pops up top, and then you get everything below. So I can definitely see that sort of coming through in that way.
We'll talk about, in our next chat, we'll talk about what we think parks can do once we've had some time to ponder it. But if you were going to sign, if I was a holiday park owner and I needed a tech consultant to help me understand what I need to do and what I need to consider when buying tech of any type, whether it's F&B, EPOS, PMS, maintenance, whatever, what kind of advice would you, what 2 or 3 things, piece of advice would you give me?
Firstly, I'd want to sort of look for a provider that's going to be reliable. Yeah. It's going to offer me a system that I know is going to hold up, certainly on those peak times. Yeah. Peak times, absolutely, yeah. If you're going to have something go wrong with your tech stack, it's not going to be when you're on a Monday lunchtime when it's quiet. No. It's going to be your Friday and Saturday evenings when everything's being slammed.
So you'd ask for that kind of those stats, a bit of stress testing, if
absolutely,
you will.
Okay. Is the support going to be available when I need it?
That sounds so obvious, right?
But there's a lot of companies that provide support in hospitality, which it's not a 9 to 5 industry. No. Offer support Monday to Friday 9 till 5. Yeah. What happens at 9 o'clock at night on a Friday?
And that's a really good point, right? What you say is the default answer is, you get support. Actually, you only need support if there's something wrong with the system. So why not stress test the system? Yeah. Why not make that part of your criteria? Yeah. Just go, right, show me the stats for a Friday night. Yep. With a business.
Who's using this system? Yeah. How's it being? How's it holding up when a Wetherspoons pub when it's absolutely slammed on a Saturday night at 9-10 o'clock at night? Yeah. Is the system still running at peak performance?
It's a great point.
So it's sort of making sure you've got something that's reliable. Yeah. Again, quality. Yeah. You know, there's such a difference in pricing from what you want to buy from systems. But cheap doesn't always necessarily mean it's going to be the best.
Yeah.
It can be a bit more of that false economy.
Yeah.
It may last you for a year.
Yeah.
But then if you're having to reinvest again later,
yeah.
it's become a bit of a false economy.
Yeah.
You know, I read somewhere that if I've got to remember how it goes now. If you spend too much, you've only lost money. If you haven't spent enough, you need to be making sure you put money away each month.
Yeah.
You know, for when it goes wrong or breaks and everything else. So if you're doing that, why not invest in the good system to start with, where you know it's going to work and you're going to get your proper ROI?
Yeah, it's a really good point.
So yeah, again, you know, looking at the quality of what you've got, future proofing.
Yeah.
Have I got a tech stack that's fit for now? Is it also going to be fit for purpose in 3 years' time, 5 years' time? Is the company I'm partnering with going down, you know, on that same journey of keeping up to date with what's happening, the trends and everything else, and understanding really, I guess, you know, what's happening in the industry. Where do people see it evolving? Nobody thought about the pandemic.
No.
You know, how that was going to change everything, how everyone was going to have to live off of apps and everything else.
Well, and a couple of idiots launched an app product in the middle of the pandemic. See, that's really interesting. We have a roadmap as a business, and quite rightly, a lot of our customers are like, you know, what's on the roadmap? But actually, I don't think they're that interested in what's on the roadmap. They just want to know these guys are looking
to the future,
and as much as they can.
Yeah.
Do you know, if I said, I was just speaking to a client of ours, Andrew. If I said, here you go, Andrew, here's what we got for the next 36 months. First thing he'd go is, okay. The second thing we'd go is, how on earth do you know what's going to happen in 36 months' time?
Where's the relevance for that?
Therefore, that is rubbish because you don't know. But the fact that you're thinking about it.
Exactly. So we at Zona, we're very fortunate. We want, again, data.
Yeah,
we want feedback.
You're very strong on that.
So we hold customer groups with some of our large corporate customers. You know, what's happening, what's working well, what isn't working well, where can we improve as a company, etc. But also, it's how do they then foresee their business evolving? And we do that with a number of different customers. And so we do that with the larger corporate customers. We then also do that with our smaller independent customers. Because their needs are going to be slightly different to a Wetherspoons, to a Mitchells and Butlers, etc. So we do that then with our smaller customer base. How do they see what is it they actually need for their business? And that's then what we use to help drive that product development and that future road mapping.
It's beyond me. In every industry I've worked in, that's a great point. Software vendors talk a lot and go, this is the way technology is going. And they go, therefore your market's going to go this way. And hospitality, again, speaking to Andrew a while, Andrew has been in hospitality and holiday parks probably for 45 years. He knows. He knows people. He knows what holidaymakers want. He knows what owners. He knows.
He's got his finger on the pulse. Knows what's going on in.
What do you think is going to happen? And he would tell me, and he would go. Therefore, that number 4 on your roadmap is a waste of time. Because
what you've got down there, number 10, that needs to be elevated up nearer the top.
That's a really good point. That is people, software
feedback,
vendors across the piece, not just hospitality, media, digital agencies in particular. Do not listen to that.
Zona was very good at getting that feedback.
Very good.
Because that ultimately it's our customers that help us grow.
Yeah.
So it's understanding their needs. What is it? How can we improve the business for them and make life easier?
Yeah.
How are we going to generate revenue?
Yeah. And you've got and your success is very black and white.
Yeah.
How much more are we taking over the tills? In effect, I know it's not just that, but
yeah. You know, how can we drive that footfall back through again?
Back again. Yeah.
Ultimately, it is about how can we generate that revenue, whether that be through peak performance, repeat bookings, your guest loyalty, etc. How can we engage with the guests and bring them back in?
Brilliant. Thank you, mate.
Cool. Is that all right?
That's where the episode ended, very abruptly, very quickly, but hopefully for your ears, thankfully. So like I said at the beginning, this was that was the first of a series of interviews we're going to be doing over the coming few months with various protagonists. They're going to be slightly ramshackle because I'm involved in them, but I hope what they'll lack in polish, they'll make up for in a little bit of insight. So thanks again for listening or getting through it, whatever your feelings on the matter, and just keep an eye out on the XP community. We're going to pop some stuff on YouTube, we'll put some stuff on social, but yeah, hopefully you found it useful. I'm sure you can let me know if not, or let Alana know, or any of the team know, and look forward to catching up with some of you soon.